Hey everyone, it's Emily and I'm going to be doing another reading vlog. So I did my first one during the cozy little readathon back in December. I'll be sure to link that. But it's a 3-day weekend for me. I have off on Monday, so I figured it would be a good opportunity to do another vlog and have fun with it. It is actually already 3 p.m. on Saturday the 15th of February. And I was hanging out with some friends last night, which is very rare for me on a Friday. I normally don't do anything on a Friday, but I was hanging out with some friends last night and was just running a bunch of errands today. So it's already 3 in the afternoon, but I figured I would just kind of show you what I'm in the middle of and what I'm going to be focusing on this weekend. So my audiobook is Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. I'm actually pretty far into it. I just have this section to go and I'm loving the audiobook. It's actually the same narrator as the person who did the Crown's Game duology, and I really enjoyed him in there as well, but I'm really enjoying the audiobook. I'm really fucking loving this book. Like, this is in like favorites territory, but this is my audiobook for the moment. Physically, I'm reading A River of Royal Blood by Amanda Joy. This is the Fairy Loot edition. Eventually I'll catch up on December's and January's. But this is November's Fairy Loot, and it's also Blackathon, and so this is also just going to be part of the mix of books that I have that are by Black authors. And I've just started it, so I'm barely into it. So I don't really have a lot of thoughts on it yet, but this is going to be my physical read. I also physically have The Way We Eat Now by B. Wilson. I'm not very far into this, and I have a book club meetup, a local meetup for this on Wednesday. And so I need to actually really get to a lot of this, because I also need to return it to the library probably on Tuesday because it's due Wednesday, and I'm not going to have a chance during the day to return it before the meetup. So I really need to have it done like this weekend basically and turn it back in either on Monday or Tuesday hopefully. So this one is going to be also a huge priority for me to read physically. Another bookish thing I'm doing this weekend is, well, I'll be filming some other stuff, but I'm also going to be putting some prompts to the rest of some Fairy Loot cards. So I did this once. So I had Fairy Loot cards determine, was it my September TBR, my October TBR? Editing, Emily, be sure to link that below. But there's one TBR where I had random prompts assigned for each Fairy Loot tarot card that I had. And I haven't done it since because I've had set TBRs and I didn't really want room for I didn't need wiggle room for the past few months, but I'm hoping soon that I can do another TBR where Fairy Loot cards can determine part of my TBR. And so I've had, more Fairy Loot tarot cards come in recent Fairy Loot boxes, but I have not put prompts to them yet. So I want to make sure to do that. So that'll be another project for this weekend. And even if it's not a full TBR, one thing that I would really love to do coming up, I think, is have more weekly things where I theme my reading for a week or two. And so I could also put different themes associated with that on different cards and kind of draw what themed reading I might do for a week. So maybe like a week of your shortest reads, or a week of only fantasy, or a week of only environmental reads, or a week of memoirs or something, just to kind of get through some of the other sections of stuff that are on my bookshelf. But yeah, that'll be another project. But yeah, I need to unpack the things that I got from the errands that I just ran. And other than that, I'll probably put some laundry in and just chill and read for a bit. So yeah, but I just wanted to start the vlog, and we'll see how much footage I can get over the next 2.5 days. So yeah. Okay, so it's a few hours later. I put away everything that I got this afternoon. Candle is lit. Thai iced tea is acquired. I have actually labeled the rest of my Fairy Loot tarot cards. So I'm not going to go too in depth. As I said, I'll link the original video where I talk about the cards that I originally associated a prompt with a card, but I added global reads. So I mentioned in my goals video, I'll also link that below, that I'd love to just read more from around the world. And so I also have printed out the names of a bunch of countries from around the world, and at some point, maybe this weekend, I'm going to cut all of those out and put those in a bowl. And so this one is going to be geared towards me drawing random countries and then seeing if I can find translated works from those countries to read. So I'm really excited about that, and that'll help me kind of work towards that goal this year. I also have Treat Yourself, and this one will allow me to acquire a book in some way, probably in a very cheap way, whether that be a used bookstore or something. That doesn't necessarily mean going out and buying something full price, but romance. Also have a binge a series card. So I think it'd be really fun at some point to have a reading vlog where I just straight up binge some series and just go straight through it and give my thoughts. So I have that. I also have a contemporary card. I've got a short reads card, because I have a decent number of short reads that I think it would be cool to either just incorporate them into my TBR every now and again, or again have some sort of themed week where I just read a bunch of short books that are on my shelf. Politics, so I have a fair number of just politics and history books, so I kind of want to have something to get me to read more of those. Middle grade, so I don't have a ton of middle grade, but I would like to read more of it. So this one could be something where I check out a bunch of middle grade from the library or something, but I would like to incorporate more middle grade into what I read. I have a general nonfiction, just kind of incorporate all of the different kinds of nonfiction that I have and just make sure that I'm adding those in. I'll be sure to link the nonfiction in booktube tag that I just posted recently, where I talk more about my goals for nonfiction reading and what kinds of nonfiction books I like to read. I also have the Queen of Cups, and I thought feminist literature, whether that be in fiction or nonfiction, would be a perfect addition, and so I have this one as a feminist read. So I also did that while I was sipping on some Thai iced tea and catching up on a few booktube videos. But now it is time to get some reading in. And I'm going to work on The Way We Eat Now by B. Wilson, as I am 25 pages in. And as I mentioned earlier, I have a lot to get through with this book this weekend. So I'm going to start here and just see how far I can get and just get a good chunk read. So let's go. So update, I am almost now 100 pages into The Way We Eat Now by B. Wilson. I also just had some dinner, watched some Dexter, so I've at least made some good progress in that one. I think I'm just gonna start getting ready for bed and just call it a relatively early night. I'll probably read a bit of River of Royal Blood before I actually fall asleep, but I will check in tomorrow morning to see how much of that actually get read tonight. So yeah. Gotta get the morning coffee. Good morning. So I've had some breakfast, having my coffee, and I just wanted to say hi and tell you about my reading plans for today. So I'm hoping today's probably gonna be a pretty chill day. I have plans later tonight and then like later evening to the night. So today's probably just gonna be a chill day of a little bit of adulting, a couple of errands, and but otherwise just mostly reading. I might go to a coffee shop and hang out for a while, just kind of see how I'm feeling. But while I'm running errands, I'll probably listen to more of the audiobook of A Stream to the Dreamer. I I've got under 100 pages left in this, so we'll see, depending on how long my errands take. We'll see if I can get that finished. So if you haven't read this one or know what this one's about, this follows Laszlo Strange. He is a librarian who knows and is kind of obsessed with the lost city of Weep, and the name has kind of been forgotten, and everyone just kind of doesn't really remember much about this city, doesn't remember its name. The name has just kind of been stolen from everyone's memory, but he has a feeling that that's not the city's real name, and he's learned everything that he can about the city. After a long time of no interaction with anyone from the city, there's an envoy that comes from the city, and they're asking for people's help, and so he is able to join this envoy to go back to Lost City of Weep to help with something. And it's just about his adventure, and it's Laini Taylor's classic writing style. I absolutely loved her writing in the Daughter Smoke and Bone series, and so I knew I would love the writing. And I am just in love with Laszlo. It took me a bit to get into the other main character who's in the city of Weep is Sarai. It took me a while to get into her perspective, but I'm absolutely loving this book so much. Also, I'm gonna hopefully make some good progress in The Way We Eat Now by B. Wilson, and I just knew that this was a book about the food system. Now that I'm reading it, I can get a better idea of specifically what all she's talking about. So the first 100 pages or so talks about the rise in the number of people who are eating enough calories. Of course, there are still people who are not able to eat enough, but she talks about over kind of the past several decades, kind of maybe up to 40-50 years, there have been substantial changes in the food system, some for the better, that there's able to be more food that is allowing more people to eat more calories in a day, but that there's also a simultaneous rise in people still being malnourished despite getting more calories. And she's talking about the way the food system has changed over that time. She's talking about how certain crops have become kind of homogenous. And she also talks about the rise in obesity, the rise in kind of high fat, high sugar foods across the world. And so, and just the way that that's kind of allowed people across the world to eat very similar things, which her discussion on that was pretty interesting. Anyway, so it's definitely an interesting one so far. I definitely hope to make more progress in this one today. And those will, I think, be my two main priorities. Probably read some more in A River of Royal Blood. And if I can get this audiobook finished, my next one that I have ready from the library from Libby is the second book in the Darker Shade of Magic series by V.E. Schwab. I absolutely loved A Darker Shade of Magic, so I'm really excited to continue on with the second one. I don't own that one physically. I actually was kind of annotating and reading physically while listening to the audiobook for most of that book. So I don't have the second one physically, but I'm so excited to listen to the audiobook. Anyway, those are my plans for today. Good morning. So, kind of failed at vlogging the rest of yesterday. Did a fair amount of adulting. I have more to do today. And, by the time I was done with all of that, it was time to go to a game night at some friends. And I got back late from that, so I didn't really read a ton more of River of Royal Blood. I just read a few pages before falling asleep, so I'm still around, page 25-ish of this. I did, however, while I was adulting and cleaning and doing laundry and stuff, I did finish the audiobook for Strange the Dreamer, and I absolutely love this. So there is so much about this that I love. There are a few things that I'll need to process my thoughts fully on this, I think, to give some more thoughts, and I'll obviously talk about it in the end of month wrap up. But there's so much I loved about this book, and I'm really excited to get to Muse of Nightmares. And I did get a little bit farther in The Way We Eat Now by B. Wilson, but not too much farther. So my main priorities for today are going to be getting more of this read. I did, however, check back in with my library, and I didn't realize that there's not a hold on this for anyone after me. So I actually could renew this, and so I'll actually be able to have today, tomorrow, and go to the meetup on Wednesday. And if I don't quite finish it before the meetup and there's still a little bit left, I mean, it's a nonfiction, so it's not like I'm missing spoilers at the end of a novel or something. Like, if I don't quite finish it, it'll be fine, and I can finish up the last bit of it maybe on Thursday and return it over the weekend. Or if I do finish it before Wednesday, then I can just return it on Thursday or something on my way home. So excited that I'll actually have a little bit more time than I thought with this one, but I still need to get a good chunk of that read today. So yeah, I still have a little bit more adulting to do today. I need to cook, and I have one more load of laundry to do. So I'm hoping, I didn't go to a coffee shop yesterday, but I am hoping to go to one today. But yeah, that's my progress so far. I haven't done much reading this morning. I was editing some videos. That was another thing I did yesterday, was film some video. So I was getting some of that editing done, editing what I have so far for this vlog. So I did get a good amount done this morning and get a good amount done yesterday. So yeah, but hopefully there will be more actual reading done today. Hey everyone, so it is a decent amount of time later. I am back and have had a nice evening, pretty productive evening. Made myself some tea, and I'm just going to finish up some stuff, get some more reading in. I only made it about 2/3 of the way into The Way We Eat Now by B. Wilson, and I've got plans tomorrow after work. And then the book meetup is the next day, so I don't think I'm actually going to finish the book. Hopefully I can finish it even if it's after the meetup, and then return it to the library next weekend. And other than that, I think I'm at page 75 of River of Royal Blood. Can't really say too much. I'm enjoying it so far. And yeah, I'll talk about it in a wrap up because it's just not really far enough to give some more in-depth thoughts at this point. But yeah. Had a good weekend, and I hope you did too. I hope you had a good Valentine's Day weekend. Thanks for hanging out with me, and be sure to subscribe. As I said, I hope to do some more vlogs like this, even if it's just general reading weekend vlogs, or hopefully some more themed vlogs. As I mentioned, I'm hoping to do a lot more of those on my channel. I'm just really excited about those. They just seem like so much fun to film and do, so I'm hoping to incorporate a lot more of those on my channel. So yeah, be sure to subscribe, and I'll link my Twitter and Instagram down below. That's where I like to hang out, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.